Who doesn't love free stuff? This here is the Stock Boys take on the best 10 free cars in GTA Online. I've got you covered whether you're new to the game and need something awesome to drive, or you've been around for a while and just want to fill out a garage or two. But I'm not here to talk your ear off, let's jump right in. To the Benefactor Dubsta, and this is a great first car. It was actually my first car in the game. I love the thing, just had to sell it recently to make room in my garage, which kind of made me sad. It looks great on the road and does well off-road. Based off a Mercedes-AMG G-Wagon, the 6.5 emblem on the side tells us that it's based on a G65, which is pretty awesome. The G65 is a V12 bi-turbo SUV, which is insane. This one, the engine model looks an awful lot like a V8, but it does look like an AMG V8, which is awesome. I'll give Rockstar a lot of credit there. And it's a four-door, so you can carry your buddies around, do some off-roading. Overall, a really good car. Maybe you're more of a hardcore off-roader. You want to go up the side of Mount Chiliad. You're not going to spend a whole lot of time with this car on the streets. The Merryweather Mesa is a great way to go, and for a free car, doesn't get a whole lot better than this in this game. You'll see right here the snorkel actually works. You can go through crazy deep water. You can climb. The only bad thing about this car is people tend to be a little more aggressive when I'm driving it because it is a Merryweather vehicle. But it's still a lot of fun, and to get it, all you need to do is have someone in the session, whether it's a buddy or not, ask them to call Merryweather on you, take care of them together, preferably if you're a new player, and grab one and drive it right into your garage. This thing will fit right in with pretty much any other car in the game, and it is a lot of fun. This is the first car in this video that I'm going to absolutely rave about. It's the Benefactor Schwarzer, and I think it's one of the better vehicles in the game. I love this car. I still have one even though I've maxed out all the spots in my garage. This will always have a spot in there. I love the way it looks with those concave racer wheels, custom metallic blue paint job, and that crazy V12 emblem, even though it looks an awful lot like a V8. It's a great car to drive around, and it's also one of the best drift cars for beginners if you're doing single gear drifting. This thing's awesome. Just make sure you don't buy the bulletproof tires so you can stance it and slide around a little easier. It's not going to win you any races, but neither is anything else on this list. Rockstar makes faster cars as the game goes along. This is one of the originals, but for an original, it's got good customization options. I've already said it, but I'm going to say it again. It looks great, and I love driving this thing around. It's one of my 200 plus vehicles that still gets regular drive time. Were you waiting for more of an off-the-board pick? I've got a couple of them for you, but this is a good one. This is the Ocelot Jackal. It's a four-door, so you can carry some buddies around with you. And it's a little more subtle than some of the other cars. You can find them pretty easily. It still has the wide-body arches, which I love. And it really looks good. It's got limited customization options, but the options that it does have look pretty solid. This is probably the most underrated car on this list. At my test track, it's faster than anything else in this video, and it's the second fastest car in the Coupes class, even though it has four doors. The Exemplar is quite a bit faster, but it's hard to do much better than the Ocelot Jackal for a free four-door in this game. Do I have any tuner fans watching? This here is the Niabatsu Penumbra, based off of a Mitsubishi Eclipse, and it's actually a really fun little car. It's not fast at all. You're not going to win any races with it. It's at the bottom of the sports class, but it looks good if you're into tuners. And it's similar to the Schwarzer, the Jackal, where it has limited customization options, but the ones that it does have are actually really solid. I just love the way this thing looks, and I was a little sad when I had to get rid of it. I had an Eclipse growing up, so maybe I'm a little partial to this, but overall, this is a pretty good car. It's also rear-wheel drive as a bonus, which is odd, but it's a lot of fun. I don't know about you, but I love muscle cars, especially 90s muscle cars. They were slow, but they had big engines and they were just cool. This car kind of feels the exact same. It feels like Rockstar nailed it. It's the Impont Ruiner, and it's based off of an IROC Z Camaro. I see some Firebird Trans Ams in there. It's just a great car. I have some mesh wheels on there, some gold mesh wheels like a Trans Am, and I love driving this thing around. I still have it. It actually drifts pretty well, but overall it just feels like it should, and I love cars like that in this game. And I do love my 80s and 90s cars. I'm kind of weird like that. This car just fits right in. It's a great little muscle car if you're looking for one. Okay, now that I've mentioned drifting a couple of times, we can't let this list go on any further without the Karen Futo. Based off of a Toyota AE86 Corolla, I love this car, and I know a lot of people do. This is maybe the best free car in the game to a lot of people. It's up there for me. For drifting, for really anything, the fun factor is just through the roof. And it's one of those cars that Rockstar did a great job with details on. You're going to see that on the door here in a second with the Futo GT decals. I just love some of their earlier cars where they had custom interiors and stuff like that. But you got to love the detail in the engine bay too, and those purple cam gears. It's just a neat little car. It looks like it should, and it drives exactly like it should. It's tail happy. You can drift it really well, especially as a beginner. This is one of the better beginner drifting cars. You'll see I give it a bit of a go here, but this is not my drifting Futo. Yes, I have multiple. This is my track Futo, so it doesn't slide around near as well as the other one, but it still does all right. You can still have some fun with it. So if you love this car and you want to, I say go ahead and grab a couple of them. Alright, Stockboy must have officially lost his mind, right? I don't know. This car is actually a ton of fun. Look at that can on the back. I love that. I love all the carbon fiber. I love that you can basically turn it into a smart Diablo, which were the early smart cars that people would put Hayabusa engines in. It's just such a fun little car, and it's so unique in the game. I've never seen anybody else drive this car around in the game, so if you're looking for something that is both unique and fun, this might be at the top of my list. The detail on the car too is really fun. You have the fuel cell in the back, the strut tower bar, the roll cage. Don't knock it till you try it. Grab the next one you see, give it a try, and tell me if you don't put it in your garage. This is a great car, and it is a lot of fun. Maybe I lost you a little bit with that pick there, so we're going to go back to muscle with the Sabre Turbo. This is one of the original awesome cars in the game, and there is a lot of detail on this car too, which I like. 550 cubic inches of turbocharged horsepower according to the decals on the car, which is pretty insane. The car doesn't perform quite that well though. It's not quite that quick, but it is fun to drive. It sounds good because it is a muscle car, and I love this olive green color with the black accents. You'll see here it's got a lot of torque. I love doing wheelies in the Sabre Turbo, and even though I try to control it, it pops back up for more, which is awesome. It has that fun factor. You can do some donuts, pop some wheelies, power slide around a little bit, and then when you have more money, or if you get tired of it, you can upgrade it to the Benny's version, which I think is expensive. Welcome to the GTA economy. It's about $500,000 to upgrade, but at that point you'll have one of the fastest muscle cars in the game and one of the best to race. Overall, a great little car, 2 doors, so you can't carry some friends around, but you can have a lot of fun in it, and you can upgrade it to make it pretty quick. Maybe you're like me and you're a wannabe track star, and in real life you don't have millions of dollars to spend on tires and brake pads. The Sentinel XS is a pretty solid choice, and this is my favorite part. Look at this red line, 8,500 RPM. That's pretty awesome, and it has some good customization too. It's an original car, so it doesn't have a ton of choices, but you can slap a front mount intercooler on there, give it a roll cage. It certainly looks the part as a track car. It's not going to win you many races at all. That's kind of a theme in this video. But this car is based on a BMW 1 Series, so if you're a fan of German sports cars, this would be a pretty good choice. It's fun to drive around, and if you do find one in Vinewood Hills at the right time of day, you can find some modified versions in some pretty neat colors. Well, there you have it. That's the Stock Boys take on the 10 best free cars in this game. Hopefully you found something that you liked or something that you've never even considered before. If you're going to go grab any of these cars after seeing this video, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear about it. Of course, if you want more Stockboy Gaming content in the future, don't forget to subscribe and share with your buddies if you really enjoyed it. StockboyGaming.com is also a new website that has tons of performance information for cars. New stuff like quarter mile, half mile, and standing mile statistics. Go check it out if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Alright, should we try recording? Hey there, I'm the Stock Boy. Welcome to the new Stock Boy Gaming channel. This here is my buddy Aaron. Today we're gonna... Whoa. Hello. Agatha. Not while I'm working. Come on now. Woo, we're off to a strong start. Alright, let's try again. What was the name I gave you? Aaron. Oh, this is not going well. What?